Good morning, members of the board, Mr. Chairman. Good morning, Charm TV, and everyone in the audience. The January 30th, 2025 proceedings of the Board of Liquor License Commissioners for Baltimore City will now begin. Please take this opportunity to turn off or mute all electronic devices. The board is now in session. Mr. Chair, there's a few preliminary matters. First, if you are here for a particular case, please either review the docket that is on the door as you entered this room to ensure that your case is on the docket and being heard today, and or check in with Mr. Ramsey, who is sitting at that table right behind you. Just raise your hand. Thank you. Also, we want to note that we've made some adjustments to our website. You can now see all violation dispositions from the 2024-25 license year up to this morning on our website. Just go to the website, which is llb.baltimorecity.gov, and select violation reports on the left side of the menu, and you'll be able to access this document where you'll see all of the dispositions up to today. Today's cases will be updated by 4 o'clock and posted on the website. Finally, the following violation cases on today's docket have been postponed. That would be case 9, Jamie L. Balbuena Bravo and Alejo J. Martinez, El Oasis Restaurant y Discotheque, Inc., trading as El Oasis Restaurant y Discotheque, 3919 to 21 Eastern Avenue, Class BD7, beer, wine, and liquor license. Case 10, Joyce Young, 316 through 318 Guilford Avenue, LLC, trading as Iconic Assembly Room, 316 through 18 Guilford Avenue, Class B, beer, wine, liquor arena license. Case 11, Bijou Penland and Blanca Pescara, New Ecstasy Bar and Restaurant, LLC, trading as My Cousin's Place, 3925 through 27 East Lombard Street, Class BD7, beer, wine, liquor license. And then finally, case number 12, Tanya Williams Koch, Mystic TNM, Inc., trading as Mystic Tavern, 2949 Frederick Avenue, Class BD7, beer, wine, and liquor license. Okay, and we'll begin with the docket. The first item on the docket is an announcement of the acceptance of a monetary penalty in lieu of hearing offer. In accordance with Section 12-2105A of the Maryland Alcoholic Beverages and Cannabis Article and Liquor Board Rule 2.16, the following licensee has participated in the monetary penalty in lieu of hearings program by voluntarily admitting the violations as charged and paying the corresponding fine. That would be Rajwant Singh, RNG Traders, Inc., trading as Joe's Tavern, 1006 through 08 Dundalk Avenue, Class BD7, beer, wine, and liquor license, violation of Rule 4.05, prohibitive hours, on October 19, 2024, allowing patrons to remain on licensed premises after legal hours of operation. The fine they paid was $500. On to the next item, hardship, 180-day hardship extension. Lisa Markowitz, secured creditor, trading as, no trade name, 307 through 11 West Madison Street, Class BD7, beer, wine, and liquor license, request for a hardship extension under the provisions of the Alcoholic Beverages Cannabis Article, Section 12-2202. Please come forward.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Peter Previs on behalf of the licensee applicant. This is a hardship request. Ms. Markowitz has owned this location and the property for several years. Recently, there was, she had sold the business to these individuals, and they decided for whatever reason they couldn't make a go of it, so they handed the keys back in July. Ms. Markowitz has filed a substitute application and will be filing a transfer application on the next ad for a company to be owned and operated by her. So we are most respectfully, in the abundance of caution, to request an additional 180 days for this license.
Okay. Commissioners have any questions?
None.
No questions.
All right, thank you. Mr. Previs, on the basis then of your written request of December 30 and your proffer this morning, I vote to approve a 180-day hardship extension for this BG7 beer, wine, and liquor license. Commissioners?
Based on your December 30th letter and your proffer made today, I also vote to approve this 180-day hardship extension.
Based on the application file and letter dated December 30th, 2024, I also approve the request for a hardship extension of 180 days.
Thank
Pri-
you very much.
Mr. Page, anything to add?
No exhibits, Mr. Chairman.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Dasani Penn and Christopher Coleman, Class A Define Inc., trading as Class A Define Lounge, 2709 through 11 Washington Boulevard. Class BD7 Beer, Wine, Liquor License application to transfer ownership from a secured creditor. Please come forward.
Morning, Ms. Harvey.
Good afternoon, Mr. Chairman, Commissioners. Sean Harvey, 309 South Conkling Street, Baltimore 21224, for the applicants to my right. This is Ms. Penn and Mr. Coleman.
Morning. Are you going to have them testify?
Yes.
Would you
Well,
raise
just
your
in
right hands,
case.
please?
Do you swear or affirm under the penalty of perjury that the answers that you give and statements that you make will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I have something preliminary, if you don't mind.
Okay.
Mr. Chairman, on the application that was submitted on page 3, where it lists the applicants, it has the titles for the two applicants as kind of screwed up on the application. It should read, Dasani Penn is the secretary of the corporation, and Christopher Coleman is the president and treasurer.
So you're making an oral amendment to that?
Yes, I am, just to keep everything accurate.
No problem, Mr. Page?
No problem,
Okay.
Mr. Chairman.
If you don't mind, I'll proffer.
You may.
Mr. Coleman and Ms. Penn are the applicants. They formed a corporation called Class A Define, Inc. They intend to call the tavern Class A Define Lounge. Christopher Coleman is 95% shareholder, and Ms. Penn is 5% shareholder of that corporation. The asset purchase agreement called for a $175,000 purchase price for this business, with $1,000 down and interest-only payments at 10% for 10 years. There's a balloon payment at the end of 10 years. They're entered into a lease agreement with the owner of the building. It's at 5 years at $4,500 per month. The first 2 months were free, with 4% increases annually. Mr. Coleman does have some experience in alcohol sales. He managed a tavern business in the past, and so he brings that to the table. They both intend to be alcohol awareness trained. They both submitted for the criminal background check. Intend to have 4 employees right now, and they understand that if you have employees, you have to have workers' comp insurance, so they intend to get that as well. In fact, I think he has an application in already. So they're both qualified, I believe, to manage this
And
business.
will the employees be alcohol certified as well?
Yes, we discussed that, and in addition to that, Mr. Coleman also intends to get a scanner to make sure that there's no sales to minors.
I mean, they've had a history of some problems back, just in 2023, there was a series of violations, so,
These are very responsible people. They're investing a lot of money into purchasing this business, and I believe that they're going to do a great job. So with that, I'd like to turn it over to you if you have any questions for them.
okay, commissioners have any questions?
None.
I have no questions.
Okay.
I do have one other thing, however. When I filed this application at the beginning of December, you have to have these 3 local residents to sign the application, and one was missing. One was a property owner or something. So I had to get another person to sign the application. Well, I was told by Ms. Branch that I have to pay $1,200 because this has to be specially advertised. So we did. We paid the $1,200. Well, the thing is, when I noticed that the advertisement was done with all the other ones done at the beginning of December. So I'm thinking that maybe they're entitled to a refund of $1,200.
I don't know.
Mr. Chairman, with all due respect, if I may, that is an administrative matter, and you can direct that to Michelle Wurzberg or myself.
Okay.
Sure.
All right.
Thank you.
But that's possible, right?
You can direct that question towards us.
All right,
Sure.
then
Thank you.
nothing further.
Okay, thank you. On the basis of the materials contained in the application, the proffer from council, and any testimony received, I vote to approve this application to transfer ownership of this BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license from a secured creditor. Commissioners?
Based on application materials and the proffer made by council, I also vote to approve this transfer of the ownership of this from a secured creditor of this Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license.
Based on the application file, I also approve this application to be transferred, to transfer ownership from a secured creditor.
Okay, Mr. Page, anything additional?
No exhibits for the record,
All
Mr.
right,
Chairman.
thank you. Good luck.
Thank you, guys. Good luck.
Yeah.
Deepak Banat, please forgive me, Madhustan Kaparapu, and Taikisha Nakia Vinson, Omni Liquors Baltimore LLC, trading as Frankfurt Gardens Liquors, 5418 through 20 Sinclair Lane, Class A, beer, wine, and liquor license application to transfer ownership. Please come forward.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Yes, sir.
Sean Harvey, 309 South Conklin Street, Baltimore, 21224 for the applicants to my right. One preliminary matter, Mr. Chairman, I don't know if you'll be able to proceed now, we hope you will, but Deepak Banat, one of the applicants, was called out of the country on a family emergency, and so he can't be present today.
Okay, and he is a 49.5% owner of this.
That's correct. The other 49.5% owner is to my right.
Okay, can we swear them, please?
Sure.
Raise your right hands. Do you swear or affirm under the penalty of perjury that the answers that you give and the statements that you make will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
How do you pronounce your name, sir?
Madhusudan.
I'm not sure I can do that. Oh, Mandis.
He goes by
Okay.
Madhu. Madhu.
All right, Mr. Madhu, have you been in contact with Mr. Deepak Banat?
Yes, I spoke to him yesterday.
And does he authorize you to proceed in this matter on his behalf? Okay. All right, well, let's go forward then.
Okay, thank you. If I may proffer. Mr. Madhu, to my right, as you said, is a 49% owner of this LLC, and Ms. Vincent is a 1% owner. They purchased this business for $1,010,000 plus $215,000 in inventory. The terms of the payment are $350,000 down with $870,000 being paid over, how many years?
7 years.
7 years. They've also going to take an assignment of the current lease from the current licensee. That lease extends to October 31st of 2033. Currently, they're paying $9,000 per month in base rent with an additional about $2,000 for insurance and tax and that sort of thing. Mr. Madhu is going to be the full-time operator. He's aware that the board is concerned about sales to minors. He intends to get a scanner, make certain that he doesn't have that problem. He also is aware, how many employees do you intend?
So 3.
3 employees, so he's also advised me that anybody serving alcohol will be alcohol awareness trained, and they are both going to be trained. In fact, they have an appointment for February 8th to undergo that training. If you have any questions for them, I'll turn it over to the
Does he
board.
have any experience in operating alcohol?
Mr. Deepak has the experience in that sort of thing. He's very, very experienced in that matter.
Okay, and he will be back in the U.S.?
He's coming back this weekend, I understand.
Okay. And is it open now?
Yes.
Okay. Okay. Commissioners have any questions?
None?
No questions.
All right, thank you. Again, this has some history of violations, so they need to be very vigilant. I know that you're spending a lot of money, so the last thing you want to do is come back and have us fine you. So you have to pay careful attention to our rules and regulations. Do you understand that?
Very conscientious.
All right, thank you. On the basis of the materials contained in the application, the proffer from council, and any testimony received, I vote to approve the application to transfer ownership of this Class A beer, wine, and liquor license. Commissioner?
Based on the application materials, proffer made by council, and any exhibits that were entered, I also vote to approve this transfer of ownership of this Class A beer, wine, and liquor license.
Based on testimony by the, I guess, clients, and also the proffer given by the attorney, I also approve the application to transfer ownership.
Mr. Page?
No exhibits for the record, Mr. Chairman.
I thank you. Good luck, folks.
Thank you. Good luck.
Sean Michael White and Michael Raymond Lopez, 1113 South Charles Street LLC, trade name pending. 1113 South Charles Street, Class B beer, wine, and liquor license application to transfer ownership with continuation of live entertainment and outdoor table service, requesting off-premises catering. Please come forward.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman, members of the board. Peter Previs on behalf of the applicants. I have Mr. Sean Michael White to my immediate right and Mr. Michael Lopez to my far right.
Will you be asking them to testify?
You might as well swear them in case there's any questions.
Please raise your right hands, gentlemen.
Do you swear or affirm under the penalty of perjury that the answers that you give and statements that you make will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth? Yes.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman. This is a transfer application. Mr. White has purchased the Mother's operation at 1113 South Charles Street. Mother's will continue its other locations on Padonia Road and in Arnold, Maryland, and therefore the name will be changed. The application said trade name pending. That has now been decided as Hillside Social. It will basically be the same type of operation as the Mother's operation, bar-type food, casual food, drinks, sports-oriented. Mr. White and Mr. McDevitt, the other owner, operate a series of Banditos locations and the Wayward location next door to this location. So Mr. White will be full-time. Mr. Lopez is familiar with the operations, but he's not an owner, and he's basically the city resident licensee. The purchase price is $800,000. We are planning on going to settlement shortly hereafter, but then they expect to do another $800,000 in renovations. The floor plan has been included. The plans have already been submitted and approved, and I think the permit has already been issued.
Yeah, we have a permit.
So expect to, well, I always know with improvements, you never know how long it takes. Expect to get done within the 180 days at least. The same operation and probably around 40 employees. Can't use the name Mother's. Hope to utilize the outdoor space. There's going to be some more tables that are in the drawings already. And hope. Oh, thank you. I have a letter of support, except I left the printed version on my desk. I have one on my phone.
Can you just proffer to us what it is?
Sure. It's dated January 27, 25 from Ms. Tara McNulty, South Baltimore Neighborhood Association. It does not request or require an MOU. It just indicates that it's in full support of the proposed transfer. I look forward to learning that Mr. White's request for transfer of an existing license was approved. Please feel free to contact me with any further questions. Tara McNulty.
Okay. And Mr. White, you've been in this business for a while?
14 years.
Any problems with us?
In the past, we had that issue at Banditos in 2017, but besides that, no issues or violations at Wayward. Operate a similar outdoor patio that opened up going into the third year without any violations or issues there. Operate 6 other Banditos locations, 2 in Virginia, 1 in Fairfax, 1 in Arlington, 1 in White Marsh, 1 in Towson, 1 in Columbia, and 1 in Babylon. So
You do that?
a team of us do that.
Say you must be in your car all day
I
long.
have a 4-year-old and a 2-year-old. But yes, actively involved as an operator and CEO of that company as a whole. But yeah, we have a team. We're roughly 425 employees in totality. So looking to bring some good cuisine to the neighborhood.
So which is harder, managing that or the 4-year-old and the 2-year-old?
Whoa. It's a juggling act. The 2-year-old's super sassy, and the 4-year-old's starting to think he knows everything. So it's a balancing act for sure.
They do.
And I think you mentioned that the mother's parklet is going to,
Yeah, and
COVID parklet's gonna go away.
COVID parklet, we're going to remove. The neighborhood asked us to remove that. It's become more of a nuisance and kind of a hangout for the wrong reasons. So we'll be removing that as well, and just utilizing the parking lot space that we plan to have outdoor seating and patio space, which is our property.
Okay. Commissioners have questions?
None?
And you guys purchased the building also, or are you renting?
It's
still the Muley family.
Okay.
It's a lease.
It's a
But they're
lease.
looking to list the property in the near future. We have first right of refusal in our lease to purchase it, so that is a long-term plan.
Okay. No questions.
All right, thanks. On the basis then of the materials contained in the application, the proffer from counsel, and the testimony that was received, I vote to approve the application to transfer ownership of this Class B beer, wine, and liquor license with continued live entertainment, outdoor table service, and off-premises catering. Commissioner?
Yes, based on the application materials, proffer made by counsel, testimony made also by the licensee, also vote to approve this application to transfer ownership of this Class B beer, wine, and liquor license with the continuation of live entertainment, outdoor table service, and off-premises catering.
Based on the application file, testimony given by the licensee, proffer given by the attorney, I also approve the application to transfer ownership with continuation of live entertainment and outdoor table services, requesting off-premise catering.
Mr. Page?
No exhibits for the record, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Mr. Previous. Gentlemen,
you
good
very
luck.
much.
Thank you, and good luck, guys.
All right.
Okay, moving into violations. Ho K. Lawler, HBS Enterprise, Inc., training at Sugar Hill Tavern, 2361 Druid Hill Avenue, Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license. Violation of Rule 4.20B, prohibited activities by license type on September 18, 2024, failing to open the tavern area for on-site consumption when packaged goods area was open and operating. Violation of Rule 4.172, storage on September 18, 2024, alcohol stored directly on the floor without the 6-inch clearance. Violation of Rule 4.20B, prohibited activities by license type on November 19th, failing to open the tavern area for on-site consumption when packaged goods area was open and operating. Please come forward.
Good morning.
Yes, good morning, Your Honor. Stephen W. Fogelman, I apologize, I'm getting over a cold, so I have the velvet voice of Bobby Kennedy Jr. today.
I wouldn't suggest that.
This is
Hopefully
an
you know more
admission.
about what you're doing.
Yeah, exactly. There's something up here eating through my head. Anyway, this will be an admission.
Okay, thank you. You gonna have your client testify at all?
Not necessarily, I can cover
You raise
it.
your right hand, ma'am, please. You all might as well raise your right hands, too.
Do you swear or affirm under the penalty of perjury that the answers that you give and the statements that you make will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
Okay, Mr. Fogelman, go ahead.
Yes, thank you, Your Honor. Ms. Lawler, let me address the 4.20 issue first. Ms. Lawler has been there forever, since, what's that? And it feels like forever, because I met her when I was on the board, since 2003. She had some issues in the past, underage drinking, but hadn't been before this board in over 5 years, it looks like. And she came to me a couple of years ago and said, look, I want to get one of those A7s because I live here, I'm the only employee, and it's a lot for me to manage. And for whatever reason, it didn't get, there was something with the law at the time, it didn't get acted on at the time. Since that time, she's contacted Councilman Torrance's office and Brittany Cole, who's his chief of staff, and been directed to the appropriate community association so that she may meet with them, we will meet with them, and that's, the condition on which the councilman would introduce legislation to convert her to an A7 license. The building, there's a hole in the roof, and the hole's over top of the bar. So she had closed down the bar during that period of time. She understands that she has to operate as a tavern, and she is definitely taking the steps to alleviate herself of the rules regarding a BD7 and therefore going to convert to an A7. I appreciate this. She appreciates your understanding, and this won't happen again. Now, that's really all I've got to say. I appreciate
Commissioners have any questions?
Just one.
Go ahead.
An old commissioner. Anyway, does she have a deadline date for fixing that hole in the ceiling?
I knew. Yep, I should have anticipated you would ask that question. I've got to defer to her on that work, so she'll have to speak about that. He's asking, are you fixing the roof? And when do you have to fix the roof?
Yes, my nephew is fixing it, and he had a family problem and all this bad weather. So soon as he get, I guess it's probably start next week, fixing the roof.
How long do you think it's going to take him?
Maybe a couple weeks.
All right, thank you.
I mean, the bar is still operable. It's just operative. It's just that she preferred not to when there's a hole in the roof.
That's water.
I got you. So she's got a lot of work to do, and she's honest about it. She's been a good licensee. She's active up there, has donated items for cleanups and things like that, and she would just ask for your consideration.
When you all arrived, did you observe this problem with the roof?
Yes.
Okay. And she explained to you at the time what she was doing?
No, we told her it smelled like mildew and that she needed to fix it.
Can you identify yourself for the record, please?
Agent Chase, Baltimore City Liquor Board.
Okay. You said, I'm sorry, you told her that it smelled like mildew?
Yes, it did smell like mildew at the time. I think it had just stopped raining or it was raining for a couple days.
So was the water coming through?
Yes, it was coming through. She had a couple buckets and a trash can placed where the hole was and all around.
Okay. Do you have any questions? No. Okay. Anything further?
No, thank you, Your Honor.
All right. On the basis then of the materials contained in the charging documents, the proffer from counsel, which included an admission by his client of the violations, I find a violation, and the testimony received, I find a violation of Rule 4.20 small b, prohibited activities, on September 18, 2024, a violation of Rule 4.17 small 2, storage, on the same date, and a violation of Rule 4.20 small b, prohibited activities, on November 19, 2024. There is a history of violations, but as you say, there haven't been any since 2019. She's attempting to change the type of license and also repair the problem that's causing this, but she's got the bar open at this point?
Yes.
Okay. All right, I'd impose a fine on the first violation of $150, second violation $150, and the third $150, and give her 30 days to pay.
Based on the charging documents, proffer made by counsel, pursuant to the admission that was made here on the record, testimony of the client, I also do find a violation of Rule 4.20B, prohibited activities by license type, on September 18, 2024. Also a violation of Rule 4.172, storage, on September 18, 2024, and a violation of Rule 4.20B, prohibited activities by license type, on November 19, 2024. I also will impose a $150 fine on each of those on violation, the first violation, the second violation, and the third violation, and 30 days of pay.
Based on the testimony given by the attorney and also by the licensee, and also testimony by the inspector, I find for a violation of Rule 4.20, little b, in parentheses, on September the 24th, failing to open tavern area for on-site consumption when packaged goods area was open and operating. And I also fined for $150 for that violation. Violation of Rule 4.17, parentheses 2, storage, on September 18th, 2024, alcohol stored directly on the floor without 6 inches of clearance. fined for a violation of that rule, and my fine is $150 for that. Also, a violation of Rule 4.20 little b, prohibited activity by license type. On November the 19th, 2024, failing to open tavern area for on-site consumption when packaged goods were also being in operation. Fined for $150 for that. $150 for the first violation, $150 for the second, and $150 for the third,
Will you agree with the 30 days?
and 30 days to pay.
All right, thank you, Mr. Page.
No exhibits for the record, Mr. Chairman.
All right, thank you, Mr. Fogelman.
Thank you,
Good luck.
Commissioners.
Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Chairman.
Thank you, Agent.
Thank you.
Kivia Beard Moore and Richard L. Nelson, Richie's Entertainment LLC, trading as Richie's Lounge, 1600 West Baltimore Street, Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license, violation of Rule 3.082, sanitation and safety, on October 22, 2024, excessive amounts of uncontained and improperly stored trash outside of the establishment. Please come forward.
Good morning, sir. You are?
Richard Nelson.
Mr. Nelson, good morning. Would you raise your right hand, please? And you're still under oath.
Do you swear or affirm under the penalty of perjury that the answers that you give and the statements that you make will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes, I do.
Good morning, Mr. Nelson. You're charged with one violation on October 22, 2024 for sanitation about the trash. Do you wish to admit or deny that?
Denied.
Okay, let's start with the agent then. Would you testify about what happened on that date?
Yes. On October the 22nd, 2024, at approximately 4:18, our agent Chase and Inspector Ellis arrived at Richie's Lounge. When we arrived, we observed several white trash bags, a large box with several other boxes on top of it on a flatbed, a black flatbed attachment parked in the rear of the establishment. The black truck attachment was full to capacity with overflowing trash. It had alcohol boxes and other items inside. Within the trash, we observed alcohol packaging for Bud Ice, Corona Extra, and Winebow. There was multiple boxes placed on the ground in front of the truck. Richie's Lounge was closed at the time of arrival. However, the licensee did arrive, and we told him that we would be giving him a violation for overflowing trash and sanitation.
Okay. Do you have any questions for the agent?
No, but I would like to make a statement today.
Yeah, you may. I just want to ask you. You don't have any questions for her, though?
No.
All right, go ahead.
Okay, so what happened that day? I paid 3 people to take care of the trash. One person cleans outside my bar every day. I have pictures here, 7 days a week. I pay one person to clean outside.
Can you slow down for a second? Let me ask. So you've had this license since 2022, right?
Yes.
And how long have you had these people who clear for you?
Probably the one person from the time I opened on 22, he cleans on the inside of the bar. There is another person that this is the second person I had to do the outside. They clean outside that bar 7 days a week.
And how long have they been working for you?
Of 8, and that's more than a year now. So between the hours of 6 and 8 in the morning, outside is clean. When the snow day, they plow the snow, they salt the outside. Then I have the third person. The third person is who has that trailer. So they, on that time, that day they arrived there, I was sitting in my van when they arrived. I explained
You were sitting where?
I was sitting in my van, my work van.
Van.
Outside. So this is on Gilmore Street. I was sitting right behind the trailer. The gentleman has parked the trailer there, and what they do, because the last time I hear, I fenced the back of the property, so it's gated, so they stop dumping trash inside of my trash. It doesn't stop them. I still have pictures of this morning. They will dump it right outside the fence.
You say they were talking about neighbors?
The neighborhood dumps the trash right outside the fence. So this is outside the bar this morning. Every day, it's clean. One person takes care of this every day. This is in the back, in the fence. So this is the side and the front. This is the back and the other fence. My trash is stored inside. That trailer comes like every 2 days and load up. At the time that those picture was taken, the other gentleman who cleans inside the bar took the trash out, and he set it outside. They were sitting outside the door. He didn't put it on the trailer yet. So that's what those pictures about.
Did you explain that to the agent?
I tried to, and even called the office 3 times. She said I should speak to her supervisor. She already took the picture. I said, okay. I called the office 3 times. I left a message with somebody, never spoke to the supervisor. They gave him my information and what I was calling about. I never received a call back.
Did he explain this to you when you were there?
He just told me that he was about to dump it. That's all he said. He was like, I'm about to dump it.
Mm-hmm.
But I had already been standing there and taking pictures for about 5 minutes.
Okay. Have you ever been there before around this time of day?
Yes.
And is it the usual practice that someone comes and picks up his trash?
It's like once in a blue moon. It's not always, the flatbed is not always there, but I've caught, he's gotten a violation from me for that flatbed before.
Well, there was a violation back in last year in October. Is that the same situation?
This is the same situation.
That's the same, exact same situation.
Okay. So I'm confused about what's going on. You show up and the flatbed is there, but it hasn't left yet with the trash, or?
That's correct.
He claimed that somebody was on the way to take the flatbed.
Oh, I see.
The guy brings the flatbed. The person who loads it was loaded the flatbed. The other guy who was cleaning, there was trash bags outside the door, which is evidence that he's taking the trash from in the bar and bringing it outside. He sets it outside the door. I have no trash can there anymore. All my trash can is in this fence, this white fence in the back. So when you come to that bar, you don't see no trash can. It's behind these fence. And that's the step I took the last time I came here.
So am I looking at the inside of the fence or the outside
This
of
is
the
the
fence?
outside. This is the alley. There's still
Okay.
dump trash here.
But that's not your trash?
No, it's a neighborhood trash. There's still dump trash here.
I believe you. I just don't know.
And this is an everyday thing.
Have you considered having anybody out there to keep an eye on that?
Well, they drop that late in the night or early in the morning.
And these are just resident neighbors, or are these other bars? and
Resident
establishments?
neighbors will drop the trash there. And this is not just happens on my property. There was a next vacant lot next to me. All that, even on the day that she took those pictures, a whole block, whoever came and dropped the trash there, is piled there. There's another whole pile of tires. So people kind of use it as a dumping site because nobody really, it have no cameras back there, and there's no houses back there.
Have you observed that as well?
Not in that far rear.
Okay, commissioners have questions?
I do.
Go ahead.
Mr. Nelson,
Yes, sir.
do you realize that you are responsible for that area in the back, no matter who dumps the trash there?
Yes, that's why I try to get somebody to clean every day.
Did anyone ever tell you that you need to have trash containers when you run the business like that so that you can put your debris in?
The containers, the trash containers is inside my fence now. Because even when I have it outside, it gets overflow. So my first set of violation was overflowing of trash. So I took all the containers and put them inside, so it's gated. It still doesn't stop it. They will just drop it on the ground.
And also that you are responsible for monitoring your property all the time.
Yes, sir.
Okay.
So you put the fence up after that last violation we did? The fence was there, I put a lock on it, and I put all my trash cans. So the first thing, offense, it was on the side of the building. So it's easy to trash, they come and take it. Then I'll take it and I'll move it in the back, right? At the back of the fence. It still didn't stop them. So outside of this fence is where the trash can used to be before. They're still gonna overpack it, so that my last time I came here, I put it inside the fence. Still don't stop them. There is no trash can here. They're still dumping the trash right on the ground.
And you're saying when someone brings the flatbed and leaves it there for a while, for your other guy to put it on the flatbed?
No, so at least 2 days or 3 days out of the week, they would come with a flatbed and we would load what's in the can, what we accumulate for them 2 days, onto the flatbed.
Okay.
And then he takes it away. But he doesn't only work for me. So he collects trash for other people. So when he comes there, he loads it. His job is to take the trash from the bar and go dump it.
And he also takes whatever else trash that other people have put back there?
Yes. This is an ongoing thing, even when I just purchased the building. This whole alley was full of trash. I've got a dumpster. I cleared the whole thing. I even got a violation for the dumpster because I think in my head, move the trash. I didn't pull a permit for the dumpster. If we go back in the history, I got a violation for a big dumpster because I've got a dumpster, spend my money, and clean the whole alley. Because it's still, as you say, it's part of my business. And the only reason I pay somebody to come out here, I want when people come to my establishment, it looks clean. So that happens every day between 6 and 8 a.m.
And there's no cameras back there, you're saying? Can
No,
you
well,
put something
I
back
have
there
a
to
camera
prove that
back
you're
there.
not the one doing this?
I have a ring back there,
Yeah.
but the way the building is one of the old brick building. So where the modem is, it's hard to pick up the Wi-Fi.
Mm-hmm.
So the camera being far back there, it doesn't get the Wi-Fi.
Okay.
And you violated him for the trash inside the fence, though, right?
No, the flatbed on the side.
There you go.
Oh, okay. Let me just. So it was all the trash that was.
Yes.
Oh, okay.
And he had boxes and trash bags up against his building on that side too, as well.
So, Exhibit 6, this picture of the flatbed, is what the
Yes.
violation for. And you're saying that this is not your flatbed, this is the guy
That's
that
the
you
guy
hired?
who loads the flatbed and take it.
So,
So at that time, the other gentleman was inside cleaning the building, so the ones that was up against the building is about 4 or 5 bags that he took out from the building at that time. They were still loading, and that's why I tried to explain, I said, they're about to leave with that now, because the guy gonna come back and pick it up with a truck.
yeah.
So he don't sit
And that
there.
wasn't conveyed, I guess, properly, that's what you're
I
saying?
tried to call the office, nobody calls back.
I mean, at the time?
Yeah.
You tried to convey that?
I tried to explain that.
And there was a miscommunication, you think, or no?
But the
just-
bottom line,
Excuse me, let her.
Oh, I was just doing what I was told.
What do you mean?
We got an anonymous 311 about trash. I went out and I took the pictures, and nobody was there until he got out his truck and he said, hey, what are you doing? I said, hey, I'm from the liquor board. I'm Agent Chase. You're getting a violation for trash. And then he told me that someone was coming to pick it up. I didn't know what time, and then he said somebody's usually here from, he said somebody will come and get it today, but by that time it was already too late.
And you didn't stay?
I stayed for about, I'm gonna say 15 to 20 minutes, and we actually had a conversation.
Okay. I'm sorry, Commissioner, do you have a question?
I hear your explanation as to why the trash is there, but it's not good enough for me. You are responsible for the area. You have to clean it daily, sometimes twice a day. Neighbors dumping, they shouldn't dump, but they do dump. Get some cameras and put back there to help you out. And you have to call and complain about those individuals who are putting their trash back there. That will help you in your case if you come back before us again.
So, Mr. Nelson, this seems like a problem that hasn't been solved yet.
It's been ongoing, it's one that's hard to solve, you know.
So
It's-
even,
you
no
go
matter
to-
what happens here today, you've got the same problem tomorrow, right?
I'll do my part, which is I have somebody that is there every day to clean.
But when they come, and there's trash everywhere, you're gonna
Which is
get,
not an everyday thing. That they
but
can-
even if it's every 3 days, it's a lot of violations, right?
It is.
So something's got to change. I don't know what it is, but we've got to have a better system, I think. So, I mean, I don't want to fine you every week for doing this. I want you to get it fixed. But I don't know what the answer is. I don't know how reliable the man is with the flatbed truck, or whether he shows up late at night to take it away, or whether you have any control over when he's there or anything else.
Normally, if I see like, let's say we have a busy day, right, and I would call and say, hey, we got trash, we got more trash, and I would like come today. He's flexible like that. But if he's doing something, he would come and drop off the trailer, leave somebody to load it, and he would come back and pick it up.
Okay.
So
Well,
on that day, that is exactly what happened. It's not like this trailer was sitting there for days. He comes, he loads it, and he come back and pick it up.
all right. Well, thank you. Anything further?
No, I don't have any questions.
Okay. On the basis then of the materials contained in the charging documents, the testimony received, I do find a violation of Rule 3.08, Small 2, Sanitation and Safety on October 22, 2024. I understand your explanation, and maybe with more time, the agent would have seen it taken away, and I don't want this to go on and on. So I'm going to impose a nominal fine of $100 and give you 30 days to pay it. But Mr. Nelson, this is going to keep going unless you find some way to stop the neighbors or prove that the neighbors are dumping it, and that you also work out some system with our inspectors so that when they show up, there's some evidence that things are being taken away. Otherwise, you're going to be back here repeatedly, and I don't want that to happen. So you can speak with them afterwards, you can try to work something out, or you can come up with a new system. So you understand me? I mean, I could find you like $1,000 or more, and I'm just giving you a nominal one because they caught you this time. But I don't want you to come back. So work this out, okay? All right, thank you. Commissioners?
Based on the charging documents, testimony made today, I do also find there was a violation of Rule 3.08 to the sanitation and safety, and I agree with the nominal fee of fine of $100. I think that camera could really help if you could figure out how to put a camera back there so you can show that if they are dumping and this happens again, that you didn't do that. If you can show your schedule, because it sounds like you're really, really trying to make sure that area is clean. And I want you to understand that I think we do see that. We see that. We know it's hard for you to get that done. You are responsible for that area. Also, making sure the communication is clear. You know, if they are cleaning up or trying to do it at that time, you know, if you could have proven that or said that earlier, we probably wouldn't be here. So making sure that you have some proper communication, I guess, if that has happened. Because it seems like every day you're going to be going through this issue, right? Yeah, and I agree with the chairman. We don't want to see you here. We don't want to see, we want to promote good businesses in the city, and hopefully you'll be able to come with a solution.
Thank you.
Mhm.
Commissioner?
Based on the testimony given here today, I also find for a violation of Rule 3.08, 2 in parentheses. Now, I have a problem because you were here before us on 10/10/2024. And I'm quite sure someone made you aware then that it was a problem. On 7/12/24, a problem with sanitation. 8/12/2024, a problem with sanitation. You've been made aware already. You know about this. And I don't see any need to give any time to fix it because you had time, more than ample time to fix it. So I fined for $500 for that violation.
Okay. Mr. Page, anything else?
Exhibits for the record, Mr. Chairman. Exhibit number 1, violation report, Agent Chase. Exhibits number 2 through 9, photos. Thank you.
Just so you understand, this is a vote of 2 to 1, so the $100 fine will apply, but take into account what Commissioner Jones is saying to you, because we don't want you coming back here again. Okay? All right, thank you.
Good luck to you.
Ruth Gedichin and Haymanot Solomon, Bayview Inc., trading as Bayview Liquors, 3804 Eastern Avenue, Class BD7 beer, wine, and liquor license. Violation of Rule 4.152, sexual practices and obscenity, on October 19, 2024, regarding unlicensed adult entertainment. Please come forward.
Good morning, Mr. Chairman. Gary Maslin, on behalf of the licensee, members of the board.
All right, is this going to be an admission or denial?
Denial.
Okay. Will everyone raise their right hands, please?
Do you swear or affirm under the penalty of perjury that the answers that you give and the statements that you make will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
I do.
All right,
Preliminarily, Your Honor, we would object to any statements or admissions of our testimony from Agent Ellis, who's not present here today. He's mentioned in the report, but he's not present.
I understand. So, but as you know, strict hearsay rules do not apply. Let me hear what the testimony is. I'll have to use my discretion.
Thank you.
Agent Perez, Baltimore City Liquor Board. On October 19, 2024, myself, Inspector Ellis, Inspector Jordan, investigated an advertisement found on social media regarding an exotic dancer.
And let me just, can you just tell us what you observed?
what I
What-
observed.
You can go on, but don't go into what Agent Ellis saw, okay?
Okay, once at the establishment, Inspector Ellis reported his observations.
We make an objection.
We walked into the establishment and we observed said dancer picking up bills from the floor.
Objection, characterization of the dancer. So
Well,
say it's a
you'll get a
woman.
chance to question him, but go ahead.
We attempted to speak to the bar manager, Mr. Javier Navarro, who immediately denied any wrongdoing. After I attempted to go over what the undercover inspector had observed, Mr. Navarro became very argumentative and began to make threats directly at my person. At this time, Mr. Malaku Mulugera.
Object to that. He's not, that gentleman's not here. He's not referring to anybody that's.
Well, he can still tell me what happened.
That was, he also identified himself as a manager. He apologized for Mr. Navarro's action and asked me to discuss anything related to our investigation directly with him. We completed the investigation and departed the establishment without any further issues.
So this person that you described as a dancer, how was she attired?
She was dressed in lingerie attire.
Okay, and what did you see her doing?
She was picking up dollar bills from the floor,
Oh, okay. Around the bar or on the bar or where?
around the bar.
Okay. And were you with him as well? Okay. We'll come back to question him, but come on up and identify yourself, please.
Inspector Jordan, Baltimore City Liquor Board.
Okay. And what did you observe?
Once I found out there was a girl inside, basically stripping, performing
Well,
adult
the
dances.
information was given to you.
I went in with Agent Perez, and I saw the girl also picking up the money, and she was wearing pretty much a see-through pantyhose with a thong and a bra. What would girls wear in the strip clubs, pretty much.
Objection.
And that's as far as, I saw. And I did see, I'm sorry, a gentleman getting in his face once we were on the lower floor, Agent Perez's face.
Okay. You can question them, please.
Well, you obviously didn't observe anybody dancing,
I did not.
and the manager was polite and cooperative with you, was that correct?
Yes, it was.
Had a nice conversation with you?
Yes.
I don't have any further questions.
Questions for the inspector?
No, she obviously, she didn't see anybody dancing or any acts as outlined in the charge.
Or do you want to present testimony on your behalf?
Pardon me?
Do you wish to present testimony?
No. We'd submit, the government's got,
Okay.
they have met their burden of proof, Judge.
Okay. Well, I would disagree, but go ahead. Commissioners, you have questions?
I have no questions.
I would like to submit additional evidence of said dancer and social media posting advertising a spicy show.
Is that at this location for a certain date?
Yes, this is the post that we investigated that night.
Oh, okay.
We'd object to that. It was not offered by my client at all. It's in Spanish, Judge. There's no translation.
Let's see. Well, I'm not, you speak Spanish, right?
I do.
Can you translate it for us?
I have a better picture. Happy and blessed Thursday. Tomorrow we will have a grand show at the bar. Please come and take a look to relieve stress with the show of the devil and nice ambience, musical ambience by Lady Santana. That's what the post said, and the flyer itself just advertising the devil and the spicy show.
Okay. Thank you. It'll be received. Commissioners have questions?
I would, based
Yes,
on
I
that.
have clarification for this one, Exhibit 1. Can someone explain this to me? What is on this prospectus? What's that picture?
This is the picture submitted by Inspector Ellis. I saw that picture right after we walked out of the establishment, it's showing the dancer on top of the bar, simulating a sexual act.
Object to that.
I'm sorry?
Are they dancing? On
The
that picture?
female was dancing on top of the bar.
Object. It's a photograph, it speaks for itself. You can't testify that a woman's dancing, moving, or anyway, it's a photograph.
Well, you take it for his testimony for what
And
it's
it wasn't
worth.
taken by him, it was taken by the individual that's not here.
Understand. But as you know, we're not bound by those hearsay requirements, and it's part of his testimony, so we take that for what it's worth.
What does that say?
This is the same picture.
Same picture?
Yes.
You can hardly see those pictures, they're very poor quality,
Understood.
and not taken by him, by someone else.
Understood.
I would like to call my client now, Louisville,
Okay.
Mass. Judge.
Did you have anything else?
No, I
Okay,
don't.
go ahead, please.
All right, would you state your name for the record?
I can't hear you, ma'am. Okay,
No,
good
Mr.
afternoon, or good morning.
The mic, please.
Haymanot Solomon.
Now, Ms. Solomon, did you ever permit anyone to appear in any performance with their breast or lower torso uncovered?
Not at all.
Were you, did you knowingly permit your premises to be used for any sexual conduct, exhibition of any, or any unlawful
No,
performance?
no.
And you were totally unaware of this alleged incident?
No, I'm not. I wasn't aware of it.
All right.
Well, I have some questions. So, you have a woman who dances at your place, but you claim she's clothed, properly clothed, is that what you're telling us?
I wasn't at the premise at that
I'm not,
time.
don't
But-
give me a lot of runaround. You know what goes on there. Does she dance there?
No, we don't have any
You have no
dancer.
dancers?
No, we
So
don't.
what they saw, they imagined, it wasn't there?
I am not sure what they saw. It could be a customer, but.
You own and run the place?
Yes.
And you don't know whether people dance there or not? Is that what you want to tell us?
We don't have a dancer, that's what I know.
Okay, so what they saw, they imagined,
I hired
okay.
a manager here to run. I do apologize.
You want us to believe that, go ahead.
Well, it's the facts, Judge.
They saw
Do
it.
do you speak Spanish?
No.
Did you ever post any sort of flyer?
No,
This
no,
flyer
no.
that was introduced, had you ever seen that before?
No, I don't even know that there was any flyers.
You had no knowledge of that?
I have
It's
some
all in
credibility
Spanish.
issues, but this goes into the record, okay. All right. Anything further?
No, Your Honor.
Do you have any?
No, I don't
I'd like to have an argument if I could, Judge.
Go ahead.
All right. I realize hearsay is admissible, but this body's bound by the laws of evidence. Inspector Ellis isn't here. There's no testimony been presented that anybody was dancing in any capacity. There's no evidence of that. And you have to go by the witnesses that were here. My client denies that she's charged with knowingly permitting a person to appear at or other act or performance where their breast or lower torso uncovered. There's no evidence any person had their breast or lower torso uncovered.
I thought she was going to tell us that, but she didn't. She denied that anyone was even there.
No, she didn't deny anyone.
She says she doesn't have dancers.
She doesn't have dancers,
Okay.
all right?
But did customers come in dressed that way and pick up dollars off the floor?
There is an explanation. If I could present the manager, we did our own investigation, I'll put him on, like to offer his explanation so you feel more comfortable. Could you state your name for the record?
You have to come up to the microphone.
Malaku Mulugeta,
Can we get a spelling on that?
Melaku, last name Mulugeta.
And you're the manager of
Yes.
David, is that correct?
Yes.
You were there on this night that this alleged incident occurred?
I was there all night.
Does your premises ever hire anyone to dance in this premises?
No.
Did you see anyone dancing on the bar that night?
I don't see anyone dancing in the bar, but I see the liquor board working upstairs. I was downstairs to bring the stuff for the
What did you
upstairs.
see? I didn't hear
He
him.
saw the liquor board inspector going up the stairs.
Oh, okay.
But I was downstairs to bring more drink for the bar. But there is group of people there celebrating the birthday, like 5, 6 people with females, just like customers.
What time was this?
It's like between 1:30 to 1:45 in the morning.
All right, when you got up to the second floor, was anyone on top of the bar?
I don't see anyone top of the bar.
Was everyone clothed?
I don't see everyone, no.
Everyone had their clothes on?
No.
No?
Is that no or yes?
Yeah, no. I don't see no one on clothes.
You didn't see anyone without clothes?
No.
Okay. And you spoke with this gentleman here, correct?
Yeah, the reason I jumped on that conversation because the barback, he lied to him and he wanna like, in front of his face, like basically they disrespected him.
Slow down.
So
Who did what?
The barback was being, he says, disrespectful to this
Okay.
agent.
Yeah, then I jumped between them.
To Agent Perez or to Agent Ennis?
No.
To Agent Perez?
Yeah, I don't know his name. Then I told them to back off. You're not supposed to talk to them. And I asked him, I apologize, and to her, soon as y'all left, I'm gonna, handle my business. So soon as they give me paperwork, I signed, they left. And I told them, that's the last time you go and visit this building.
You fired him?
Yes, sir.
So you're no longer permitting him. And again, on this evening, did you see any woman, no one was on top of the bar, did you know?
I didn't see any woman top of the bar.
All right. But there were women there.
There are women, like 4 or 5 women, they waiters,
Waiters.
And there's a group of people celebrating birthday.
A birthday party.
Yep.
And you don't hire any people to dance in that establishment, correct?
No.
And you don't permit that?
No.
And the licensee doesn't permit that? Now, this flyer or brochure, had you ever seen that before?
I've seen that before somebody posted such and such birthday, but I don't have control somebody's social media working around why you post this and why you post that.
Did you ever post anything?
No.
Did the owner, to your knowledge, post anything?
No.
Do you speak Spanish at all?
No.
All right. Thank you. That's all we have.
Did you have that conversation with him?
Yes. However, the alleged barback is not a barback. He's a known bar manager and promoter around the Highlandtown area. I've been dealing with him for the past 7 or 8 years at least 5 different establishments. The social media post I submit as evidence was posted by Javier Navarro himself, the alleged barback.
And does he work there? He did until he fired him.
Correct.
Okay.
He used to own the bar. What he says is right. He used to own the bar. He used to run his own business. So
Is he a promoter?
Huh?
Is he a promoter, though?
No, he's not a promoter. He just come to ask me to be work like at the bar back. But he used to own the bar. Somehow,
A
somewhere, he don't
different
own
bar.
anything. Different bar, some way.
So was he an employee or contractor?
No, I hired him like a bar back. He helped.
And how long had he worked there?
He worked there almost like 4 or 5 months. Then this incident happened.
Okay.
Then I fired him same night. He disrespected them.
So he worked for you, and he's the one that sent the flyer out. Was it Miss Sanchez?
I don't know. That's what I just heard now.
Did you see the woman that's in the flyer there? Was she there that night
Wait,
on the flyer?
what, the woman
Because
they
it's
were
promoting a
saying she
person.
dancing? I ain't, no, she not there.
Not dancing. I just said, did you see her there? I'm
No,
just asking, did you see her there?
No. I just.
You don't remember?
No.
And you said you were downstairs and were bringing things up to the bar.
Most of time, I've been upstairs.
So you were up there
When
most of
they
the time.
run liquor or they run out some kind of beer, I have to go down the stairs because I don't want the registered person leave the
Okay.
register and go.
So how long were you downstairs?
Well, between 10, 15 minutes.
Okay.
Because I have to dig 10, 15 coronas.
And you said there were a lot of women
For
up
the
there,
next
but
day.
they were workers?
Like they're workers.
And did they,
It's like 4 or 5 of them.
okay. And some of them, did they have all of their clothes on, or?
No, they put like normal clothes, like mini. It's like, one of them like summertime style.
Mhm.
That's what they do when they go any Spanish bars. They know that.
So you didn't see anybody?
No,
with-
not anybody naked. We don't allow
I didn't say
that.
naked, I said with the description. You didn't see anyone with like a
No,
bra
no.
and underwear or
No,
sockets?
I
And
don't
you were up there the
allow
whole time
that.
and you didn't see that?
I don't allow that. and they know. But
Okay.
if customer come, even if it's like that, my security, they're gonna force them to cover up, but that never happened.
In the past, you've told them to cover up when that's happened. And this-
No, never happened. Even if it is, the security guy, he go force them to cover up.
If it did happen.
Yeah.
Okay.
Anything further?
No, Your Honor, but the picture that was offered, the little pictures, it nowhere is anywhere remotely looking like this woman. You can see from the other photograph that is there. There's one photograph of one woman, and that photograph is barely noticeable, but it's not a glamour person like this is. This is clearly a contrived flyer, not promoted by my client.
But promoted by someone.
Promoted by someone else, without her knowledge or understanding of what.
But we don't
whatever.
know. Okay. Okay. Anything further?
No, I would just say that there's just no credible evidence that anyone was doing anything, simulating any sex acts or anything of that nature. There's no evidence that anyone's breasts were exposed, certainly, or a lower torso uncovered. Clearly, they had a covering under both the breast and the lower torso. So I would suggest that it is clearly not they're not charged with live entertainment, but the charge is that the licensee must knowingly permit something to occur. This licensee had no knowledge that somebody's posting in Spanish, shouldn't even speak Spanish, on a social media account that's not her account or related to the business, hey, do this. And as soon as they found out there was a problem, this other fellow's immediately terminated. Since she's had this establishment, she's never had any problems. She runs a very tight ship there. There was a security person there at all times. They vigilant on carding people. She takes her obligations as a licensee very seriously. At her home, she has a monitor where she can check in and watch the bar, watch the upstairs. And she wasn't on the monitor 100% of the time, but she does check in and see that everything's okay. So she can communicate with the security people who's on scene, and her manager, who's, as you heard, is a very responsible individual, polite, cooperative, with the liquor board inspectors. And he heard about what he did. The other gentleman was disrespectful. He terminated him, said, "Get out." So this is a bizarre, isolated incident, but it certainly wasn't done with any full knowledge or consent of the licensee, and that's what the charge is. So most respectfully, I'd ask the board to dismiss this charge. Thank you, Your Honor.
All right, thank you. On the basis of the materials contained in the charging documents, the proffers from counsel and testimony received, I find a violation of Rule 4.15, small 2, sexual practice and obscenity on October 19, 2024, and I'll tell you why. The testimony is in direct conflict. The agent and the inspector claim that they proceeded into the establishment after receiving the report from Inspector Ellis. Inspector Ellis, I don't think, imagined what he saw. It may be hearsay, but we're allowed to accept that to the extent that we find it credible. I don't find your client's testimony credible that the woman that he saw was not there. So I find a violation. They don't have a history of violations. This is the first one before us. And they've had the bar, a year and a half or something? So I would hope that we don't do this again, but I'd impose a $250 fine and give them 30 days to pay.
Based on the charging documents, proffer made by counsel, testimony that was given by all parties, and for the same reasons as Chairman stated, I find a violation of Rule 4.152, sexual practices and obscenity, on October 19, 2024. I also impose a fine of $250 and 30 days to pay.
Based on the testimony given here today, the proffer given by the attorney, I also find for a violation of Rule 4.152, parentheses, sexual practices and obscenity. I have a lot of confidence in the inspectors. I've been listening to them for a while now, and they seem to be able to see very good. I don't think there's much wrong with your eyes. So I believe in what they say to me. Credibility, he left the floor 15 minutes. Who knows what happens when you leave 15 minutes? There's no one there to monitor the bar at all. Even if somebody got up there for 15 minutes and did what they identified, it's still a violation. You need to be there. Somebody got to be on that floor taking care of the business of the bar. Because I believe in what the inspector said, I fine $250 and I'll give you 30 days to pay.
Mr. Page?
Exhibits for the record. Exhibit number 1, violation report, Inspector Ellis. Exhibit number 2, photos. Exhibit number 3, advertisement via social media. Thank you.
All right,
All right,
thank you.
very good.
Appreciate it. Good day.
Guess we can agree to disagree.
We can.
Tanae Demisay and Fikramariam Warku, Jano Ethiopian Restaurant and Lounge LLC, trading as Jano Ethiopian, 34 South Utah Street, Class B beer, wine, and liquor license. Violation of Rule 3.08B, sanitation and safety on September 7, 2024, unsanitary kitchen. Violation of Rule 3.091, restroom facilities and health regulation on September 7th, 2024. Women's restroom was unsanitary and lacking toilet paper, soap, and paper towels. And finally, violation of Rule 4.16, illegal conduct on September 7, 2024, allowing cigarettes and hookah to be smoked in violation of the Clean Indoor Air Act. Please come forward.
Good morning, Stephen W. Fogelman on behalf of Mr. Worku, who's present.
Morning. Admission or
It's
denial?
going to be an admission, and I regret to inform you this will not be as interesting a case as the last one.
No, the last one was much ado about nothing. Go ahead.
All right, thank you. All right, there's another one of my bad news people. Miss Lawler has a hole in the roof, and as you may know, this gentleman's restaurant burned down on September 22nd, 2024. My daughter and I were going to an O's game that day. I think it was a Sunday. And right when we get off the bus, there it is on Channel 11, up in flames. So he's had a heck of a 2024. Let me just address the charges real quick. With respect to the hookah, it was brought in by a customer. He knows that that's not permitted. There was a security officer who failed to stop him. Mr. Montez, who was fired that day, or the next day, because this happened late at night. With respect to the kitchen, the cook did, and the 308B charge, the cook didn't show up that day. The kitchen was functional, and I don't like this because I had rats try to chew their way into my home many years ago. They do the cleanup on the kitchen when the chef shows up in the early evening, not at the end of the shift, which he's changed. They plan to change after that, and so that wouldn't be a problem in the future. As long as you clean up at night, you're not going to have a dirty kitchen, even if the chef doesn't show up the next day. My favorite charge is the dirty bathroom. Like if you told me, gone to a time machine and told me I'd be here talking about a dirty bathroom in law school, I'd say, you got the wrong guy. Nevertheless, what happened in this case is it was a busy night. It clearly was. When the liquor board came in, a lot of people. They clean their bathroom at 5 o'clock every day. And at 10 p.m., they did a bathroom check to make sure there was toilet paper and paper towels. They put in 2 big rolls, which is equal to 5 regular rolls of toilet paper that evening. And by the time the liquor board got there, it was gone. I mean, it was decimated. So it was just something that they needed more administration, just needed to keep checking that bathroom. And so obviously the answer is that the employees have got to check the bathrooms every hour or so because toilet paper does run out. So, it's regrettable. They have learned a lesson as a result of this about changing their management practices. And I do feel bad because Mr. Worku could be out over $100,000 as a result of the damage to the building, as a result of
So has he been out of operation since September 22nd?
That's correct.
And is it ever going to be in operation again?
Well, why don't we swear him really quickly?
Let's
Because
swear everybody in.
in December, he gave me an answer, but it
Okay.
changed in the 6
Please raise your
weeks.
right hands, both.
Do you swear or affirm under the penalty of perjury that the answers that you give and the statements that you make will be the truth, the whole truth, and nothing but the truth?
Yes.
Go ahead. Did you have a question for him?
I do. Mr. Worku, do you have plans to reopen?
Oh, it depends on the owner who's doing the remodeling of the building. And right now, only the roof is done, so it's gonna take another a year and a half for the business to start open again. And the building was so bad, so old, it's gonna be new one by the time it's done.
Well, and his 180 days is March 21st, and then he could get extended perhaps to September 20th, but he may end
The
up...
license may expire.
Exactly. He may end up requiring a new license.
Yeah.
The irony here is it sounds like a lot of money is going into that building, and this is a Class B restaurant license, so he may be able to revive. Nevertheless, enormous economic hardship for the licensees since September 22nd, the date of the fire. I just ask that you consider that in any fine that you have.
I'm not sure what to do. I mean, they have a terrible record.
Yeah.
They don't pay any attention to what we do, no matter how we find them. Then they have this tragedy where it burns down, so they're not in operation. The license may expire. Help me. What do you suggest?
I mean, the law is going to work this one out with or without us, in the sense that if he's telling me a year, then he's going to lose the license. I don't think it's worth revoking the license just to kill it now. I mean, I would just ask for a fine and that you give him one less thing to worry about as he rebuilds, in the sense that he's already got these statutory deadlines that will cost him that license. So I'd like to think he's in enough jeopardy, quite frankly, without any further liquor board sanctions.
Inspector, do you have anything you want to add?
No, sir.
Commissioners have any questions?
What's the illegal conduct? Can you address that?
Smoking hookah and cigarettes while we walking in, and I explained to the licensee that it was not allowed in the building.
That's correct. Mr. Worku is asking to make a quick statement.
Go ahead.
First of all, I completely understand that I am not a very good manager. I'm a social worker, social work management, professional field, but this is entirely different thing, that you give them an order to do something, 5 minutes you're away, everything is different. From security, to the bartender, to the cleaning, you gotta be like on top of everything. So I intend to hire a new manager to manage it. God allows me to open up again. If the process gets fast and the place get refurbished, I won't be managing it. I need a manager to manage it, because my style of management is allowing me to be a victim again and again. Well, no matter what, there is a business. If there is no business, I'm always in crisis. So I got to get out of this thing. It's not good for me, not good for my family. We are in $250,000 debt of the SCB alone. I don't have a job. My wife don't have a job. We are at home 4 months. Insurance didn't pay us. We have nothing. We got nothing, literally. So I understand. I take responsibility. I failed. So I take responsibility. But don't kill the license, because I completely plan to change the whole management style, get a different clientele base. The clientele base is also the most difficult client I ever have. The people I'm targeting is the wrong client. You tell them not to smoke, 5 minutes you're downstairs, they smoke, no matter what you do. So the client base, the promoter is wrong, the business thing is wrong. I admit it. I completely admit it. So I see what you're saying, and I take responsibility. But 2024, we've just done, we're damaged, and I appreciate the owner for giving me another chance. open if they finish the building as soon as possible.
So,
Thank you.
I have a question for our Deputy Executive Secretary. If we were to suspend this, not allow the license to be reactivated without our further consent, can we do that?
Sir, so the law already provides that if a license is not being utilized or a place is closed for 90 days, they have to come and ask you permission to reopen. So we're already there.
Right. And I don't think we have any problem with that. I mean, I think if he could to be in a position to open up before this license expires, that he'd be willing to come in for a hearing to see what in fact has changed, meet the manager, make sure that the management practices have changed.
And he has no income at the present time?
That's what he testifies to, yeah.
Okay, you don't put us in an easy position. Anything further?
No, I appreciate your wisdom and consideration,
All right.
as always.
On the basis of the materials contained in the charging documents, the proffers from counsel, testimony received, including the admission by counsel on behalf of his client of the violations, I find a violation of Rule 3.08 small b, sanitation and safety, on September 7, 2024, a violation of Rule 3.09 small 1, restroom facilities and health regulation, on September 7, 2024, and a violation of Rule 4.16 illegal conduct on September 7, 2024. In light of the circumstances, which are dire, I would impose nominal fines for each of these violations of $100 and give him 30 days to pay. And as we've already stated, this license is dormant after 90 days and cannot be reactivated without our further consent. And we're going to have a very specific plan in effect before we would ever allow that. 30 days to pay. Thank you. Commissioners?
Yes, based on the charging documents, the testimony given by the licensee, proffer made by counsel, also find a violation of Rule 3.08B, sanitation and safety, on September 7, 2024, violation of Rule 3.091, restroom facilities and health regulations, on September 7, 2024, and a violation of Rule 4.16, illegal conduct, on September 7, 2024, for the reasons the chairman stated. Also, will issue a $100 fine for each of those violations with 30 days pay.
Based on the testimony given here today, I also find for a violation of Rule 3.08B, parentheses, sanitation and safety, on September 7, 2024. I also find for a violation of Rule 3.09, one parentheses, restroom facilities and health regulation, on September 7, 2024. Also find for a violation of Rule 4.16, illegal conduct, on September 7, 2024. And I would fine $100 for each of these with 30 days to pay. And that little speech the commissioner, the chair gave a reference to them closing down and so forth. When you do close down, make sure you get your plan together before you come back to us, because without a good plan, I don't think anything will move.
Thank you. Mr. Page?
I'd like to call exhibits for the record. Exhibit number 1, violation report, Inspector Brown. Exhibits number 2 through 20, photos. Thank you.
All right, thank you. Good luck, sir.
Thank you, Your Honor, Commissioners. Appreciate it.
There being no further business before this board, the board is in recess until Thursday, February 13, 2025 at 10:30 a.m. We're adjourned.
All right, thank you, everyone. Have a good day.